I want to tell you a story. The story is a family of four. Rebecca is the mother, Isaac is the father, and their two sons, Jacob and Esau. These four people are different, and yet they share similarities with some of their family. So Rebecca and Jacob are homebodies, people who like to cook, study, and stay near the tents, near home. Then there's Isaac and Esau. Esau loves to hunt, and Isaac appreciates the hunter and what he has to offer and loves to eat the food he hunts. They both respect life out in the woods. Jacob and Esau are different in other ways as well. Esau would make up his mind about things quickly. And if he was hungry, all he cared about was the food. He didn't think about anything else. If he was scared, all he cared about was his father's blessing. He lived only in that moment at that time. Well, Jacob would plan things out in advance, trying to figure out what all the possibilities were. When Rebekah suggested that Jacob deceived his father, Jacob responded, "What if he touched me?" He thought through the consequences of what he was about to do. When Jacob saw that Esau was going to be hungry after a long day hunting, he thought, now is my chance to get his birthright. It's important to remember as we judge Esau and Jacob that there are no perfect people in the Bible. In fact, not even God in the Hebrew Bible is perfect, but we'll come back to that some other time in another drash. The people in the Bible are not perfect because we are not perfect. And if they are to be role models of how we are to be, they shouldn't set us up to fail. They shouldn't show us somebody perfect who we can never be. So instead, they show us people who are imperfect, who make mistakes, who have problems they need to work on to be better people, just like we are. And so Jacob is sneaky and deceptive. He has to learn to be honest. And Esau lives so much in the moment, he forgets to work for things. He has to learn how to plan ahead. Some scholars have just suggested that the problem is not with Jacob and Esau, but rather with Rebekah and Isaac, their parents. Rebekah and Isaac have favorites. Rebekah favors Jacob, and Isaac favors Esau. Parents are supposed to love their children equally, and yet children sometimes feel like one parent loves the other better. That doesn't always mean that they do, but the feeling is a natural one. But just because it's natural does not make it right. It is also true that some parents have something more in common one child than the other. For example, my middle son is athletic. It just comes naturally to him watching his body move. That's not a talent I was given. But my partner, Rabbi Elise, has that talent. She is naturally athletic. And so they would throw balls and play sports and go outside and hang out because they like doing the same things. That didn't mean I didn't love my middle son equally. It just meant that there was, or that she loved him more than his other two brothers. It just meant they had something that they had in common. The truth is, no brother or sister are exactly the same. We're not cookie cutters of each other. By definition, we are all different and bring something unique to our families, something special that we all can share. So my questions for you today when you go into the breakout rooms are as follows. If you were Esau and found out that your brother had stolen your blessing, how would you feel about Jacob, your brother, or Isaac, your father? And if you were Isaac and found out that your wife Rebekah and son Jacob had deceived you, how would you feel about them? Or if you could sit this family down, Isaac, Rebekah, Jacob, and Esau, and try to help them live a healthier life, what would you say to them? What would you say to your brother and sister if you could to make your life healthier? And if you have a brother or sister, chances are you are different than him or her. When do those differences make your life better? And when are they more challenging? I won't be there in your breakout rooms, but if you choose to email me your answers, I would love to hear what you have to say. I would love to learn with you and get back to you, and maybe we can discuss this Torah portion or your family lives a little bit more. In the meantime, enjoy your breakout rooms and Shabbat Shalom.